I blame Ping for that.
Smurfs. Overwatch players' biggest nightmare since the launch of the game has left an extremely commonly asked question in the Overwatch community. Why? The main big reason for Overwatch players to smurf in the first place is to simply dominate lower ranked players. But in the eyes of some, they are simply doing it for educational purposes. Educational unranked to GM videos and streams are no new concept for Overwatch. However, with players like Metro, he will do an educational unranked to GM every single season with the same character, that being Soldier 76. Now, you might be asking yourself,
Guys, let's be honest. Who is Metro? Who is Only Legs, dude? Like, guys, Metro and Only Legs, they are basically just placeholders. Like, for me. They are like budget, they're friends.
Now, Metro is a top 500 soldier player who is known for smurfing constantly for educational purposes, but also getting hard stuck in low ranks even while smurfing and then having a huge ego about it.
Saying how bad you are for your fucking ego. You're in diamond. There's a reason you're diamond. If you think it's because you're hard, do you think you're hard stuck because is your DPS not killing enough and that's why you're in diamond? Why do you think you're in diamond?
Now, one thing I want to clarify is I do not want anyone to spread hate to Metro. I do not condone that. However, he is a very toxic player and probably the worst example out of all players that do this. What are players that do not do unranked to GMs? Thoughts on unranked to GM? This is Super's take on it.
I think unranked to GMs are all stupid. Why? Because, bro, is it really like, okay, like GM player beats up on gold player for the 200th time? Oh boy. Who would have seen that coming? A GM player being better than a gold player? No freaking way.
Now, Awkward and ML7 are also two players that do so many educational unranked GM videos. However, the difference between these two is they're not complete toxic assholes like Metro is.
There's a ball. Hello? Hello? Wake up! You're all fucking garbage. Thing. Like they actually have like a hive mind brain of like 1 IQ combined. I've never met more idiots in my life.
Now, you'd expect a player like Metro to only blame players that are worse than him, but that is far from the truth. In fact, Metro only blames players in general, and he will blame Overwatch contenders and league players that are far better than him for his loss and expecting them to carry him every single match.
Yo, we can nanovisor. Do you want to nanovisor up here?
Oh, okay. Wait, no. There we go. I was wondering why it was so annoying.
Yo, my professional contenders players are kind of trolling, guys. Yeah, my professional Overwatch player is also kind of trolling. I guess everyone is just bad nowadays. It's time for Overwatch League, guys. What I'm saying is, my contenders players are amazing. Okay, I'm dead. I thought this is Overwatch League players.
Keep fighting, bro.
They're about to. I mean. We're gonna WOD review this game, and then I'm gonna ban you, okay? Because you have no brain cells. This is also gonna be another great example of why deaths don't matter. And no, it's not half of my deaths me running into the RAM. It's the RAM being an Overwatch League player or contenders player running into me. Because you don't seem to be very smart. You are a dumbass plat player. Stop pretending like you know how the game works when you're a dog shit player. See, and this is what you don't understand, and that's why you're plat. What's your rank? But I can tell by your messages you're not a good player. You have no clue how the game works. Rank 1?
God forbid you even mention the idea to Metro that maybe the reason they lost was because he underperformed. He could go 6-12. It'd be the most obvious thing in the entire world that, hey, maybe you underperformed and your team lost because of you. He will find every single excuse. He will go through replays to try to pinpoint the blame on someone else. He is literally what people picture the average toxic person to be in Overwatch.
Would rather lose fast, gotta be honest.
Tracer, on car.
Oh no, unlucky, we see 9 guys. Nice try. I should have calmed harder.
His job it is to mark card.
Should have calmed harder. You look at this game and you understand that we didn't win a single fucking fight because my Kuriko is not smart enough to actually combo Kuriko Ryza. My second DPS has done nothing the entire fucking game. I want you to understand how long it takes this guy to Kuriko there. Watch. I wasn't even the one initiating the fight. It was our Lucio with the beat. Watch. Okay, ready? You see how I reacted to my Lucio and comboed? Now the Orisa is down, and I know they can't stay up here because with beat, I can outdamage it, and they have to drop, or at least not peek, right? Now, if my Kuriko reacts at the same time frame, then you would see that right here, this guy would be dead. So he was one. She does have all cooldowns, so she can. No, she's right here. So she's right here. She's 98 to ult. Yeah. Couldn't hit him. Now, you could be like, Metro, that's on you. He didn't have his ult. She said she had ult.
Now you might be asking yourself, what's the point of even doing educational unranked to GMs if they don't even do education like Metro and instead are just toxic assholes? See, the thing with ML7 and Awkward is, you know, they do educational stuff to an extent. But this idea that smurfing and educational unranked to GM is, you know, fine and, you know, we should just be fine in the Overwatch community with it is so fucking dumb because it's not bannable. If you don't know this, smurfing in Overwatch is not a bannable offense unless it is you cheating or boosting someone, right? And that's just is really stupid in my opinion. Now you're gonna be like, oh, but on your last couple of videos, you literally admitted that you smurf. Yeah, I smurf and do a challenge. Listen, I'm fine if you make an alt account / smurf, but make it somewhat of a challenge, right? So I don't think a lot of people understand what a smurf and alt account is. And I think there's a little bit of misconceptions, right? Is Yazan smurfing in this game? No, he's alt accounting. Alt account is when you play on an account that is already high and then continue to play on the account. If you strategically constantly swap to low ranked accounts every single season, that is literally smurfing. In order to get an alt account, you must smurf. Think about it like this. You're basically like, you know, a sinner, but then it's fine after you get up, right? But when people constantly smurf, this is not a good thing in the Overwatch community. And like these challenges that fucking they quote unquote do, oh, I do education, or fucking with Metro, I use W key only. Yeah, use W key only on fucking Soldier. The guy that literally sits on high ground half the time, or just W keys forward. This is not a challenge. It does absolutely nothing, dude. And then he's gonna justify and be like, nah, that's fine, dude. That's fine, brother. It's like, dude, okay. Now it's like, oh, but Defran smurfs. Now listen, Defran, I don't condone smurfing, and if you don't know this, fucking the game is much easier smurf now that they made it where you can just buy a burner phone instead of the actual game, right? Which, you know, is what it is. But at the end of the day, the thing with Defran, at least he does a challenge where, you know, he, you know, does different characters. He's certain, with some he's really good at, and others he's fucking terrible at. I mean, like, look at him trying to get to top 500 with Lifeweaver. Like, that was entertaining. That is smurfing done right, in my opinion, even though he's kind of throwing, okay? Because at the end of the day, people would rather witness someone struggle with the character while they're good at the game than someone that just plays the same character on loop over and over and over and then say it's educational, which it's just not. I really do appreciate you guys watching. You should check out my Twitch. It's pretty cool.